Hello, I'm Archibald Chesterfield III, AC3, the method actor who plays Paul Pluta, and welcome to the ArchieLuxury channel, fuckers. That's right, the ArchieLuxury channel. And today, I want to talk about something I've only recently discovered. And it's something that you may not approve of. See, you know, different collectors have different genres. What's your genre? And in my case, oh, sorry, before I continue, like, subscribe, and tell your fuckhead friends about my channel. Please do that. And don't forget, I've got my other channel, the Paul Pluta channel. The Paul Pluta channel. It does the paid watch reviews. ArchieLuxury is kind of the funny side of Archie. I do all my laundry is done in public on the ArchieLuxury channel. So please, fuckers, please indeed. It's a very good idea to please indeed keep watching. Today I want to talk about the importance of having one vintage watch. And I gotta tell you, my genre has always been 90s and noughties, newish sort of stuff. You look at my collection, my gold Submariner is mid to late 90s. I love that gold sub. I got the right box. I got it professionally serviced and polished. I love it. It's my fuck off piece. I've got my Rolex Explorer 2. And I had one before, but then I wanted the later model, no holes case, solid end links, flip lock clasp. That's what I wanted. The latest, the greatest, before they went to ridiculous sizes. As far as the Speedmaster, man on the fucking moon. Man on the fucking moon. This is the Trumpster watch. I call it the Trumpster because this was when America was great, and Trump is going to make America great again. I had one from the 90s. No, it wasn't good enough. I wanted a minter. I got a box paper minter with a 1861. Some people would say you should have stuck with the 861 you had from the 90s. I sold it to my good mate Kinder, Gregory Kinder. Yes, Greg is my friend. And I gotta tell you the truth there, fuckers. I gotta tell you the truth. One thing was missing. I had these beautiful pieces. I got my Reverso, which is very, very sweet. It's like a noughties Reverso. So we got gold sub, mid to late 90s, Explorer 2, noughties, Speedmaster, man on the moon, noughties, Reverso, noughties. I'm missing something. I'm missing a vintage fuck off piece. So I thought about, what do I want? What do I want? And I know some people get model year watches. Well, that's just too fucking wanky. But I wanted something from the same sort of era. I was born in 72, fuckers. 72. And this would have been available. Omega Speedmaster Mark II. The Mark II. And, you know, I had the racing dial one. It was a bit ritzy. And I ended up getting out of that, and I got this one here. A nice condition. It came from Ian, the watch dealer. Ian's the guy who's fucked 7,000 women. And yeah, it's even got the logo on the back. It's a bit faint, but that's what do you expect? It's a 1972 fucking watch. It's not going to be, you know, it's 1972. I love the patinaed hands. I love it. It's got a beautiful bracelet. Nice. This came out of Japan. Beautiful piece. And I'm thinking to myself, you know something? I really feel whole as a man. I feel whole as a man because I got 4 beautiful pieces. I got a gold fuck off and 3 steel stunners. And I got a vintage. A vintage. That's right. I got a vintage. And it means so much to me because it's around when I was born. And it's kind of, you know, this is before the horrid quartz invasion. So it's kind of, Omega was at the top of they had the ecstasy, the high of their might. They just gone on, they just had the moon watch, moon watch. America was at top of its form. The Russians could go and fuck themselves. We had Nixon in the White House. Things were good, fuckers. Things were very good indeed. And I gotta tell you, I've got to fucking tell you, this is a special fucking piece. This is a very, very, very special, cool piece. I love it. I love it. It's 70s. It's so cool. It's me. It's got me written all over it. And I gotta tell you, you know, these vintage pieces, you don't have to have everything vintage, just like nothing, you don't have to have everything new in your collection, but I gotta tell you, fuckers, I really get sustenance and enjoyment out of having a vintage Omega in my collection. It's really fucking cool. It's manual wind. I love it because, you know, this is not my everyday watch. This is a watch I wear when I'm in that sort of mood, you know. And I want to smoke a cigar, I'll whack that on. Because it's a timer. I can time how long I had the ash going. Just shit like that. I absolutely love this watch. It's got the 861 movement, which is super cool. This was when Omega was at the top of their game. And it kind of, you know, it's just good to have something which you can tie into yourself. No, it wasn't my father's. My father had a fucking Technos. Wasn't even a sports watch either. It was a dress watch. And, you know, it's sort of, but it's just such a cool thing. If my father was super cool, that's the sort of Omega he would have had, you know. We drove a stag, a Triumph stag, instead of that wretched, horrible Holden Tirana he really had, which to you UK people was a Vauxhall, fucking ugly, fucking economy Vauxhall at that as well. Oh, nasty shit. So I think a vintage watch, just one vintage, a vintage piece is so cool to have. Now, my good friend Gregory Kinder, he's actually, I gotta be honest with you, Gregory Kinder, he's got the vintage pocket watch. He's got a gold pocket watch, which he has a tie-in to his grandfather. What a cool piece. What did my fucking grandfather leave me? He left me this fucking Sentinel. The fuck was this thing? What the fuck is it? It was, yeah, fucking Sentinel with a fucking metal back. That's its bragging rights. That's the piece of shit I got left. So, I mean, you know, that's so cool. A vintage piece. That's really cool. And that's what it comes down to. Sometimes you really want to have a vintage piece. He's got 3 two-tones. Absolutely magic collection. He had 3 two-tones. He had the Explorer 2. And he had the Omega Speedmaster Man on the Moon, the vintage 90s one, which I stupidly sold to get the more modern one. But that's just my genre. And I gotta say, that really kicks ass. It's a really cool way to have it. And yeah, I like a bit of vintage. It just feels so good. And I'm content. I'm happy with it. So I would say to you fuckers out there, go and get a bit of fucking vintage. Go and get a bit of fucking vintage. That's my advice to you. Go and get some vintage. Vintage is so cool. It's super cool. Super, 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 super cool, fuckers. Vintage. See you later, fuckers. Hello, how are you?
We specialize here in pre-owned Rolex watches. Rolex watch is a very special timepiece, and we always do the servicing exactly as factory specifications. We buy a pre-owned piece and we put it into brand new condition. We have Rolex certified technicians working on that. We completely disassemble the piece, we adjust and polish and change every single part of the watch.
You have to have certified watchmakers that know what they're doing. If you have an expensive car, you're just not going to bring it to any mechanic that doesn't know what they're doing.
You spend $5,000, it's like if you put money in the safe deposit box. And 1 or 2 years from now, you will keep having your $5,000. We have to spend a lot of money to get all this equipment together, but makes me feel I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. It's not a question of money, it's my passion.
Jewelers on time, simply the best.